What is your take on the lawsuit filed by the Department of Justice against Arizona over their new immigration law?
I think it's an unfortunate lawsuit, and ill-advised both legally and politically. Politically, it seems to be ill-advised because it's clear that the vast majority of people in every state in the union are supportive of what the state of Arizona has done. And so my view of it from a policy point of view is that what Arizona has done is partly out of frustration at the failure of the federal government to enforce the existing immigration laws and to secure the border. And from a legal point of view, thinking as a constitutional scholar, I would say what Arizona is trying to do is to be helpful and supportive of the enforcement of those federal laws. And so I don't see any constitutional problem with that. The theory under which this lawsuit is brought is that the federal government has, in one way or another, preempted the state of Arizona from doing this. But preemption law is basically comes in two forms. One is where the federal statute expressly says we will do this and the states will stay out, and that's not the case here. And the other is where the nature of the regulation is one that kind of overtakes the field and there's nothing left for the states to do. But the states can act, as Arizona has, to be supportive to this. And what makes it particularly galling to me is that the federal government is doing nothing in reaction to the sanctuary laws that have been enacted in many cities around this country, which are in direct contradiction of federal law.
And those would presumably violate the
supremacy clause, and they would be, if anything has been preempted, I would think it would be declaring yourself a sanctuary city when the federal government has expressly declared that the people that you're providing sanctuary to are illegally in this country.
Right. I know you've read the Arizona bill. The critics of that bill have said that it will lead to racial profiling. Do you see anything in that law that would validate those claims?
No, I think the law makes every effort to avoid racial profiling. I guess the only thing I would say that in any way understands the argument is to say that any time you have a statute that's directed at remedying a problem where a disproportionate number of the people contributing to that problem are going to be of a different race, sure, an individual enforcement officer could use it in a discriminatory way. But that's true of virtually every criminal law that we have in the country. If an individual police officer decides they want to arrest Hispanic people or white people or black people and not others, they're going to do that. That's illegal. We can prosecute them for doing that or fire them for doing that. But I don't think the law on its face is something that is set up to try to discriminate against people